Hi there, and welcome to my Tuesday vlog. You know, last Tuesday I sent us into Thanksgiving with a challenge, and that challenge was to either show up if people had invited you to their home for a meal and for a gathering, or if they hadn't invited you, to open up your own home and have people in. And we had some great discussions around that topic. And one of the things that occurred to me is that I failed to mention, but I want to mention it now as we head into the holiday season. I failed to mention that there are seasons in our lives where we don't feel like showing up at the gatherings and we don't feel like opening up our own home. Some people just don't feel like, because they've been through a tough situation or they're really, really down, they don't feel like being around people. And so that may be you as we head into this holiday and this Christmas season. And you know, the scriptures say that in Ecclesiastes chapter 3 that there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the sun. And then at verse 4 it says, there's a time to weep and a time to laugh. There's a time to mourn and a time to dance, and you may be in that time of mourning. You know, 3 Christmases ago, my mom passed away. We had just celebrated her 80th birthday, my sisters and I and our families. Gone to Toronto, had this wonderful celebration, and 2 weeks later, we found ourselves back in Toronto from Philadelphia at her bedside when she unexpectedly passed away. And that was definitely a time where it was hard to be around people. Some people want to be around family at that time, and others pull away, and you may be one of those people. And if that is, I want to say 2 things to you. If that is you, and you're the kind of you're a person who's suffering right now or going through a hard time, it's really okay to not show up or open up. But I would say this. If you're someone who has had that experience, you've come through that season, and maybe it's been so prolonged, and you still have found that you haven't been able to gather with people, ask yourself, do you secretly want to be with people but can't bring yourself to do it? Or do you want to be with people, but the complexion of the family and the gatherings have changed so much you can just barely find yourself among those people? It's just too difficult for you. The change is so hard. I would just challenge you to think about it and to ask God to help you to change and to move into that new season of your life, and that the gatherings do look different, but that you can move towards the difference and the change. So God bless you this season as you celebrate the birth of Christ, as you celebrate the holiday season, if you're not someone who celebrates Christ, but celebrates the holiday season with friends and with gathering with people, even if you're someone who's suffered and has gone through a tough time.